Hi, I'm here in my Tesla Model 3, and I recently subscribed to the Tesla Full Self-Driving program, monthly subscription, and I got access to the beta last night, and so I just installed it. Here, when I got in the car, it had all the release notes pulled up, and I won't go through them here, but there's a lot of release notes and information about the program, how you'll get kicked out if you misbehave, and that it'll use your cabin camera and more. So this is just general information. The first thing to do is go in and enable the software, which I just did, but I'll show you where it is. Autopilot, and then full self-driving beta, turn that on. Here I have to click an agreement saying I'll always keep my hands on the wheel, pay attention, and that they can use the cabin camera to monitor me. And also, if there's a collision, that the car will send data to Tesla, so including cabin camera images and external camera images. So just something you have to agree to if you want to use the beta program. So once that's enabled, we'll go drive.
Turn left onto Kinderhook Lane. Now turn right onto Saddleback Road.
With the directions entered in there, now I can engage full self-driving.
In 500 feet, turn left onto Pinehurst Drive.
So far,
Now turn left
feeling
onto
much more
Pinehurst
natural.
Drive.
There's a car coming. Let's see what it does. It's turning. I should be able to go. But the car is waiting anyway. Being very cautious. It's driving a little too far to the left. Oh, there, it's pulling back.
Now turn left onto Alburnett Road.
Now here's a more dangerous blind. It has a little poor visibility to the right. There's no one behind me, so I won't encourage it to go. I'll try to keep my hands very close to the steering wheel, but if they're on it, sometimes it'll cancel accidentally. Sorry, this camera mount position may not work. I see it's bouncing quite a bit.
In 500 feet, enter the roundabout and take the third exit. Now enter the roundabout and take the third exit.
Good, it didn't stop going into the roundabout. Make sure it exits in the correct spot. It did. Pretty aggressively, actually. More aggressively than I drive through the roundabout, but not bad though either. Probably more like normal traffic. I'm gonna driving the speed limit here will get you run over, so I'm gonna set it to 5 over.
In 500 feet, turn right onto
So far I've had 0 interventions, which is way better than I would have had before.
Now turn right onto East Robbins
It's
Road.
not using the turn signal. There it goes. Okay. I accidentally intervened there. It would have been okay, but it was too close to the cars. That button that I hit was just to report the incident button. It records a snapshot. No, overall it's doing much better than it did last year, so there is definite improvement, but we'll see. I still have several miles of getting to the coffee shop. Before, I would have intervened about 7 times, and that one there, I'm hesitant to count because that was more accidental. I err on the side of canceling early instead of risking something. So far it's been hesitant at the left turns, which is probably safer. Pretty aggressive on the other driving in turns. I'm in the average mode, so now technically there's a better way to go to the coffee shop that I prefer, but we'll let the car decide this time. Now here's where I complain about it. It literally trusts the line too much. It should have gone over the line a little bit. I have a green turn arrow. The car didn't hesitate. That's good. It cut the corner just like most of the drivers do on that, because it's a sharp greater than 90-degree turn. Bump up the speed there. See what it does with this motorcycle here. It's going to want to get to the right lane, but I have a motorcycle on the right. See what it does here. This is a complaint that I had with it last year, that it should try to move into the right lane earlier than it does. It waits until really late. And it doesn't recognize the lanes there, so I'm not sure why it doesn't use it. I prefer to get in the right lane right away so then you don't have traffic.
In 1,000 feet, turn right onto Boysen Road North.
Yeah, here I am 1,000 feet from the turn and it still hasn't moved into the right lane. I don't think it recognizes it as the right lane.
Now turn right onto Boysen Road Northeast.
Maybe in some traffic patterns. That's better. Oh, late break there. I don't know what that was about. You're making me nervous, car. It went. That's impressive. And it went aggressively so it didn't cause the truck to slow down. I like that. This is way improved. I cannot believe how much better it is. I mean, even last year, it would work well in certain situations, but it was very unnatural. I do wish they'd fixed the right lane thing, because I don't like it getting over so late, but that is how a lot of people drive, so it's just not how I drive. So I have one, maybe 0 interventions so far, and one complaint about the lane usage. Otherwise, it's been really good. So this is, I would have usually had about 3 interventions by this point on this specific drive anyway. The way I was telling you before that I prefer to go is a back way that has almost no traffic. It takes the same amount of time. So to me, it's the safer choice. You're much less likely to get in a wreck. And the car doesn't choose those though. I wish it would update their routing to, pick safer routes sometimes, like avoid left turns and things like that. Now, this is interesting though, because I'll get to see what it does with more traffic. Sometimes the lanes back up here. One of the problems I had last year is that the car will try to pass stop lines of traffic. Like oftentimes a truck will be in front of you and you can't see the light, so it'll try to pass the stop line of traffic and get itself in trouble. Oh, you have to regularly up the speed over the speed limit, which is good for safety, but oh, you're a little close to the middle. There, got it. And again, my left hand is right on the steering wheel, so I can grab it quickly. the Tesla system, if your hands are actually resting on the steering wheel, you'll find that they get canceled. Like it'll cancel an accident earlier, like it did on the first turn. Because I had my hand on the wheel to watch it, and then it bumped into it and canceled. So that's why I tend to keep them slightly off the wheel. Now there's a really tricky blind S-curve up here. I say really tricky. It's kind of narrow, blind, and not well marked over railroad tracks. So with the lead traffic, it might do better than without it. And then they'll dictate the speed through here. So right here, but see, it's really tight. It looks like they painted the lines recently, so it's not too bad. But usually the lines are faded off there too. No, it did fine, but again, I would like to try it as the lead car and see how it does too. Sometimes it'll go really fast into that, and then it's just not good. So like I said before, I would usually have 5 interventions by the time I got to my coffee shop. There's one last, on this next turn that it's going to make, a place that it tends to screw up, so I'll see if it does that this time. And that's that it turns into the wrong, it'll turn into the wrong lane after it turns and get really confused, and I've had it like jump around a lot afterwards. So we'll see how it does here. But yeah, I averaged a disengagement every mile, or an intervention. Like, I say both because I think they're really the same. Some people rate them differently, but I mean intervention, I mean like pressing the accelerator to get the car to react and do something there. About 2 cars ran, there were 3 cars ran the red light, typical. Okay, now this is where it'll screw up and turn into the wrong lane. It'll turn into the right turn lane, and it looks like it still did that. I intervened because there's a car behind me and I can't have it do that. So that issue is still there. Let me hit report. There's my coffee shop. I missed my coffee shop.
Now turn right. Now your destination is on the left.
I'm gonna try an auto park here. See the pedestrians walking across. Oh, it didn't recognize the parking spots. So yeah, there's that. It still had a couple of the bugs, which doesn't surprise me, but overall I am much more impressed with it. I think some of the bugs that do remain though are those annoying mapping bugs, like that turn lane there. There's no reason it shouldn't have gotten out of that turn lane. It's clearly marked as a right turn lane only, and that's just always confused it there, and I'm not sure why. So we'll try, after this we'll try drive to work, and that's the other one that'll cause some trouble from here. So, and as to why it didn't stop or turn into the parking lot, I don't know. I'm not sure exactly how that works, but it thought it would keep going up the street. Maybe it was trying to go around back. So that's something that I think that will be several years out yet, is the, getting it to the parking spot. Thanks for watching, and like and subscribe.